I'm fed up, man. I'm fed up in this moment. I'm optimistic in general. I'm going to say some things that I have optimistic answers to that I'm not interested in hearing at this particular moment. I just drove 25 minutes from the university campus to my home. The university bought up all the fucking nearby non-residential parking lots for university students to park in. But they charge you to park there. 'Cause, like, in the continent of the fucking free, nothing's for free, man. So I, a university student who refuses and on occasion cannot even afford to shill out to park in the university's paid parking, have to park on a nearby residential street. It says maximum 3 hours only. And I have to park there for like 8 hours and hope that I don't get ticketed. I haven't yet. But there's a looming anxiety every time. And as someone who has only been driving in the last few years, the process of receiving a parking or traffic ticket when you're not at your vehicle baffles me. You put it on the windshield and just hope it stays there? What if it fucking gets blown away? How am I going to know? And then I'm going to get in trouble for not paying. Anyway, that's not what this rant is about, right? I'm painting a picture. I'm painting a fucking picture here. This rant is about the erosion of the fucking societal will for a better future. I'm driving home down a narrow 2-lane road. The person ahead of me is on their phone. I can tell because I can see them through their rearview mirror. And their head is like moving to the side and looking down for every single time that it's not absolutely necessary that they look at the road to avoid a fucking collision. The person behind me is looking at her phone. I can see that she's looking at her phone. She's delayed 5 seconds following me after every fucking stop, at every red light. It opens up into 2 lanes. There's a bus in the second lane. Some fucking hot rod asshole 20-something-year-old who is making a living scamming people and or selling drugs, it merges in front of me with no signal at an unsafe distance. I honk. I get brake checked for no fucking reason. Okay? And this is not about traffic. This is just what set me off. Right? Because I just came from
generic university course.
Depending on who you fucking are listening to this, you may or may not know that
generic university course
is the most deranged teacher education course I've ever had to fucking have the displeasure of being present at. And it's taught by the most it's taught by like an AI generated human being. Like she's fucking, she has no idea what she's saying at any given time. She has no passion for or investment in her instructions, her content, right? I got 3 weeks till the end of the classes this semester, and then I go to a student-teacher placement, which is very exciting. Although there's a 40% chance that I get paired up with some associate teacher, like the person who's hosting me in their classroom, who like doesn't fucking actually give a shit about the job, or has been successfully brainwashed by the fucking bureaucrats and administrators of educational policies in Ontario, and not that this is a problem exclusive to Ontario, but like they're fucking shilling learning styles and left brain, right brain in 2026, man. They're shilling Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences, which is like not even a theory because it doesn't make a prediction, and the implied prediction that it makes is so easily falsifiable. And I bring up in my classes, and I have been for 6 months, when shit like this gets mentioned, that it's unscientific and it's pseudoscientific and it's been disproven and it's been debunked, and like, why are we being subjected to it? And my teachers, the teachers of teachers, right? The experts in teaching, they have PhDs in education that qualify them to educate other future educators on how to educate properly. You know, they have the fucking gall to respond with like, well, in my anecdotal experience, learning styles is a very successful theory of how to teach people. Motherfucker, do you not understand the scientific method? What hole did you crawl out of where they don't teach you that anecdotes are not admissible as scientific evidence? You had to do a dissertation. You had to defend a dissertation to a doctoral committee. And then you had to fail upward into an adjunct professor role at the University of fucking
Redacted.
buttfuck nowhere. Might as well be a goddamn trade school or college, as they call them in Canada, where, like, you know, the fucking institution exists to churn out engineering and software engineering degrees, and like, and I'm here thinking that I'm gonna get some sort of valuable education in how to educate other people. Joke's on me, I guess. I should have gone to Waterloo, moved halfway across the fucking country, and gone to like some place in BC. Silly me, I guess. Like, I'm trying to become an educator in the ignorance meta of society. I'm trying to fucking like reconstruct out of quicksand with my bare hands the fucking foundation, of a knowledgeable society that is interested and curious about the truth, that values the experiences of other people and how they might contradict their own ill-formed notion and ideas. Like I am trying, knowing that what I am able to do is wholly insufficient, because that's what you have to do to solve a society scale problem. You must, and I'm using Healthy Gamer GG's language here, if you can believe it, you must get up every day and try to do what you know is insufficient, right? So I am. I'm going to these classes. I'm engaging faithfully in my education where I have the energy to do so. I'm asking critical questions. I'm investigating the fucking the thinking and the processes and the mechanisms the machinations behind why people learn the way they learn and how they do it. And what I have discovered is that education is one of the most impossible fucking things to research. There are a million fucking barriers to it, right? Like, first of all, you have to get 30 sets of parents, some of whom are divorced, to sign on a dotted line and say, yes, I'm okay with letting you experiment with my child's education. Like, fat fucking chance, right? And then you have to understand that education is a sub-discipline of psychology, which is not how it's treated at all as a field, but like it is, right? We have to understand the psychology of learning new information and incorporating it into a worldview. And that's extremely qualitative. It's not very quantitative. And so it's very difficult to put statistical information that can be quantitatively verified and peer-reviewed and replicated. It's maddeningly difficult. And then there's like a million fucking biases that get in the way of you having meaningful data, right? There's a recency bias. The students come to school, same shit day in, day out. Maybe they have a good teacher for this subject. Maybe they don't for this subject. But like, when you do something new, and especially if like a different person than the usual teacher, some proverbial lab coat comes in and is trying a new education method with them, they're going to like express a positive preferential response to it just because it's new. Just because it's not the same shit that they have to deal with every day. They're going to be more invested. They're going to be more engaged just because there's new stimulus, right? And we exist in the meta of how do we engage the students? Oh, how do we engage the students? How do we engage the students? How do we get them excited? How do we like get them, on the hook? And then once you got them on the hook, like you got to just keep moving and you got to get them thinking, right? Like there's none of this, and it sounds like I am against this, right? It sounds like I am advocating in favor of rote memorization-based education. It sounds like I'm advocating in favor of like fucking pedal to the metal. I'm the teacher, you're the student, you are a passive, empty vessel receiving the knowledge that I am preordained to transmit to you. And so you're going to do all of these homework questions and then we're going to talk about them. And I don't believe in that. I believe in a constructivist model of education. I believe that it has to be participatory. I believe that students have to create their own version of the knowledge, their own understanding of it, and incorporate that into their own worldview. And as far as I can tell, that is what the evidence supports. And as far as I can tell, it has a higher rate of success than previous methods. But like it's all this fucking, how am I going to manipulate you into learning against your will today? How am I going to get you to do something without actually telling you why it's meaningful for you to have this knowledge, these tools, these abilities? Why would I like take an anti-oppressive, Freirean approach to education? Why would I try to convince you that I'm giving you tools that will give you greater agency over your life so that you can resist the oppression of the ignorant. I'm trying to become an educator in the fucking ignorance meta, man. It's insane. Okay? It's insane. My professors are using Grok to create their lesson plans for their university courses. The pause I just did, I feel it wasn't long enough. Like I'm gonna say it again. I want you to really think about it. My professors in the faculty of fucking education, the people who are so good at teaching that they're qualified to teach teachers, are using large language models to generate their lesson plans the day of. Has it really hit you? Because I still feel like it hasn't fully hit me, and I've been doing it for like 8 months. Yesterday, I spent all day working on a group project with like 5 other people. One of our group members wasn't able to attend school that day, but was like, listen, I got some shit done ahead of time. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do. I contributed like 400 words to this 2,000 word assignment, right? I go look at his stuff. It looks a little uncharacteristic for him. I copy it into an AI detector, which are not like 100% reliable, by the way, because the technology that they're using to detect AI text is, of course, generative AI, right? Maybe technically it's analytical. Who fucking cares at this point, man? And it's like 63% AI, right? And so we're like, okay, so we're not including that. He's sitting out on this project. It's fine, I guess. It's fine, I guess, we all say to each other, as if this doesn't represent the erosion of the fucking societal will for a better future. Man, I'm trying to become an educator in the ignorance meta. Nobody wants to become educated. Nobody wants to become educated. Nobody wants to do the hard work. And I understand it's because they're beaten down and oppressed. Because the education system failed them. The education system failed them. And they're beaten down and they're oppressed. And they don't have the mental fortitude to claw out of the position that they're in. And I get it. Because, I'm not in that different of a position from them. Right? I don't know if it's my particular way of life. I don't know if it's a culmination of the experiences that I've had. I don't know if it's because I'm a writer and a creator, and my function in that I serve in the world is to find truth and disseminate it to other people, hopefully in a way that's entertaining, but more importantly in a way that conveys the fucking knowledge. I don't know what it is about me and my beliefs and my principles that has allowed me to retain a no-tolerance policy towards the enshittification of the fucking human mind. And I know it's not just me. I know it's not. I'm expressing an emotional state right now. I'm not trying to be correct about everything. People simply do not want to become educated because they've been failed by an education system that is set up to fail, right? And the the teachers who actually are woke to what's happening and are trying to make a difference, like, can't, because the people who are best at the profession are not the people who go on to decide how the profession should be carried out, man. We are in dire need of educational reform. Education needs to be transdisciplinary as opposed to multidisciplinary. The Whiteheadian approach to fucking education that is focused on not inert, rote, factual knowledge, but in truth. Because as it turns out, as I'm learning, you can have facts without truth. You can have facts without truth. And I'm not talking about fake facts, alternative facts, fake news, Trump-isms. That's not where I'm at, okay? What I'm talking about is you can say a bunch of shit that is correct and disseminate no real, fundamental, important, meaningful, truthful information in the process. Because you're some kind of fucking pod person. Right? Nobody wants to become educated. Everybody just wants to get home. And in the interim, between putting your foot on the gas pedal, or rather between taking your foot off the gas pedal, putting it on the brake, and then putting it back on the gas pedal, you want to look at your phone. You want to look at your fucking phone, man. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. It's exhausting to do the right thing. It's exhausting to adhere to a moral code. Man, if I wasn't a writer, if I wasn't, like, versed in the written word, you know, like, I had early online unmoderated access, I was like just absorbing STEM information from a young age. I've been a keyboard warrior since the term keyboard warrior entered the public lexicon. And I decided to get into writing, like, as a hobby, and now as a way of life, 5 or 6 years ago, right? And I'm all the better for it. But if none of those things were the case, if I didn't have any of those advantages that put me in a position where I'm able to crank out a 600-word reflection on how a presentation went in 18 minutes, I fear for the alternate future where I'm too fed up to adhere to my principles and not phone shit in with fucking grok, man. Like, we are at we are at the crux, the fulcrum of the fucking information age. And it's not just about misinformation on the internet, in the news, and in the politics, and the government. It's not just about nobody being able to agree on anything. It's not just about the North American ideology of freedom crumbling in the absence of a shared moral code and trying to contend with the realities of moral relativism as they present themselves in an increasingly interconnected, multicultural, and accepting world. It's not even about that. That's actually a separate issue. The issue that I am addressing in my current emotional state is that of the fucking social will for a better future. There is no optimism. There is no optimism. And this might just sound like a doomer, like criticizing other doomers. But as someone who actually prides myself in harnessing the indomitable will of the human spirit to overcome the indifferent cruelty of the universe, like, I reject it. I reject it. I reject all of this. Oh, I just gotta get home. I just want to get home. No, I have to cut in front of you in traffic right now because I just want to get home. No, I have to look at my phone in traffic right now because my baby, my partner, my mom, my cryptocurrency, my sports betting, my. Like, what if, revolutionary concept, you devoted your energy to someone else for a fucking change? Maybe the people who you are endangering with your behavior in traffic would be a good start. Like, the human beings around you that you can, like, actually see through their fucking windshields, man. Like, maybe those people, maybe that's where you can start. That person that you used to really enjoy hanging out with, that you just haven't because, I'm busy. I am living paycheck to paycheck. I am struggling to make ends meet. I am going through a divorce. I am, like, do you think maybe that you'd be able to better handle your fucking issues if you leaned into a social support network and surrounded yourself with other people who may not be like-minded but ultimately care about the persistence of the human condition? Like, what if, and I'm just spitballing here, but what if, like, actually fucking confronting the reality of society and having to interact with other human beings instead of engaging with a predatory service to get McDonald's delivered to your door at 9:30 p.m. on a weekday? Maybe that would be better for you. But, like, I don't know, and you don't know either, because you don't want to become educated. You don't want to find out how you could make your life better. You just want to get home. I just got to get home. I just got to get home. I just got to get home to my life, my things, my cares, my needs. You have a social fucking responsibility to the other human beings on this planet. And I'm not talking to people living on the street. I'm not talking to people who don't have a spare moment for themselves because they are busy trying to provide for two different families, right? I'm not talking about people who are already fucking doing the thing that I'm talking about or are unable to because of the level of oppression they experience. I'm talking to the middle class. Okay? I'm talking to the middle class. Oh, my problems. Oh, my problem. You think your problems are bad? Try engaging in empathy for the common person. Try, introspecting deep within yourself to find the well sorry Try looking deep within yourself to try and scrounge up some compassion for an individual who is condescendingly looking at you and claiming that they have expert knowledge which they do not in fact have. Like, try finding compassion for an AI-generated human being. Try finding compassion for the fucking type A education student, fellow teacher candidate, who in some 5 years will have a classroom of their own and is using AI to rewrite your words that you expertly crafted to suit their preferences, right? Try having love for the people who could be contributing to solving the problem and are not. This is like an exercise for the listener. You go and fucking try to have a shared human compassion for the people who are scamming, for the people who are using ChatGPT, for the people who are not engaging faithfully with their education, with their work, with their life. Try having compassion for the people who cut you off in traffic at an unsafe distance. Try having compassion for the people who are not getting up every day and doing what they know is insufficient to solve the problem. Try having compassion for the people who are making it harder for everyone else, because that's the average person right now. We are in the ignorance meta. You have to develop compassion. I'm not talking to like you're like, oh, he's talking to someone that's not me, right? He's talking to a type of person that I know I'm not. I'm safe because I'm listening to this, and I wouldn't be listening to it if I were one of these people. No. Everyone has to do it. Everyone. Me included, okay? I'm contributing to a predatory gig economy by ordering McDoubles at 9:30 p.m. in the evening on a weekday, okay? I'm doing it too. It's not just me, it's not just you, it's not just your teacher, it's not just your parent, it's not just scammers, it's not just politicians or trillionaires or whatever Zucker Musk horrors beyond our comprehension are going to shape the impending collapse of civilization, okay? It's everyone. Everyone has to get up, look at the people around them, and say, I hate what you're doing. I abhor how you are engaging with the world. I abhor your selfishness. I abhor your refusal to imagine and then work toward a better future for people other than yourself, and I love you anyway. You have to, okay? You have to, or all of this is going to crumble. Whatever it is that brings you joy, right? Watching fucking, like, Markiplier Iron Lung movie, right? The Marvel movies, watching YouTube, watching Twitch, watching Hank Green, watching Ludwig, watching fucking whatever you're watching, whatever it is, whatever slop you're filling your brain with right now. And I don't mean to characterize all those people I just said as slop, but on the level that you and I are consuming them, they are slop, actually. Like, because I'm turning on Hank Green, who, like, really cares about this video that he made and is trying to address the issues that I am just barely scraping the surface of in this monologue. And I'm putting it on and only half listening to it while I play Minecraft. What is wrong with me? Okay, what is wrong with you? You're like, oh, but I always pay full attention to everything. I'm fine. Maybe I'm projecting onto you in particular. That does not excuse you from the exercise. Okay? You, the listener, have to get up every day and engage in what you know to be insufficient to solve the problem. You have to look at the common person in a meta where you have to, in some way, shape, or form, scam other people to have financial stability. And you have to say, I forgive you, and I'm going to try to help. Not help them scam, but help them do something meaningful. Become educated. Become educated. Expose yourself to knowledge that is uncomfortable, that challenges you, that forces you to grow as a person. Expose yourself to people who are different from yourself. Reject false dichotomies. Reject othering. Reject the ill-founded, socially reprehensible process and mindset of I just gotta get home. I just gotta get home. I just gotta get home. To my people, to my things, to my. You are taking from society and not giving. I don't care if it's fair. Okay? And I'm being hyperbolic. Of course I care about fairness. Of course I care about fairness. And of course, there is room for a discussion of fairness in all things. But, like, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair that you are born into a world against your consent. You are educated or not educated, or failed to be educated against your will. You are pushed into situations against your will. Your parents provided you opportunities or they didn't. Your home life is good or it isn't. Your financial situation is good or it isn't. Okay? You have to give more to the world than you take. Everyone has to get up and give more to the world than they get in return. Otherwise, it's all going to collapse. And I'm not advocating for you getting into a predatory job situation. I'm not advocating against being compensated fairly for your fucking work. This is a bigger conversation than money. This is a bigger conversation than fairness, man. It's not fair. It's not fair. But you have to understand. You have to understand. And I'm going to describe this like the math-brained individual that I am, okay, who's played too many incremental number go up games in my fucking lifetime, all right? There is a stat Imagine with me for a second. There is a number that describes the amount of value for humans available on the planet right now, okay? And I'm not talking about like resources that are in the ground that haven't been mined yet. I mean like actually like available to you at the grocery store or on the internet or at the library or like whatever, right? Like you go to McDonald's, you get food, you leave McDonald's, and the stat goes down. Right? Like there is a number. Imagine there is a number that's like the humanity's score right now in the global video game we're playing where we try to create value for humanity. Right? Like we're all playing a giant, massively multiplayer online real-time strategy game in which everyone has to create value for other human beings, not via fucking capitalism because that system has run its course, but like we want to make the world better for humans. There is some score. Imagine there is some score that represents how good the world is for humans right now. Okay? That stat is on the whole going down. And I only know so much, and I could be so much more educated, and I don't have the authority to make the statements that I'm making, blah, blah, blah. Like, there is a stat. Imagine with me that there is a stat that describes the extent to which the world has been made better for humanity by humanity, okay? In order for this number to go up, you have to give more to the world than you get back in return. Does that make sense? Does it? I feel like it does, but like maybe I'm insane, right? Maybe I'm the insane one for thinking that if everybody just, goes like, well, the world has done X amount of value for me minus Y amount of oppression, and the resulting amount of value is the amount of value I'm obligated to give back and no more, then the world crumbles. Like if the number hits 0, if the stat hits 0, the world it falls apart and we have to start over. Okay? We have to start over from like stone tools if we hit 0. And I don't think we're in danger of hitting 0, but I think we're in danger of losing like 80% of the fucking score, man. A collapse the likes of which has never been seen in recorded history is imminent because nobody is willing to put more into the world than they get out. No one is willing to challenge themselves, to become educated, to become knowledgeable, to become competent, to choose something and to work toward it. And I understand that barriers exist to doing that. Okay? I am on the highest dosage of ADHD medication that my doctor is comfortable prescribing. All right? I got my problems. It's exhausting. And I'm like 25. I don't even have children. I don't plan to have children. I don't have to support myself financially at this time. I don't, you know, I don't have to like parent younger siblings because my parents failed. I don't have to. There's a lot of problems I don't have that other people have. So like, you know, glass houses and whatnot. But like, you have to, you, the listener, have to put more into the world than you get out of it. Otherwise, what's the fucking point?